Hi everyone, this is Professor Kidwai. I hope that this audio lecture finds all of you well. This video lecture finds all of you well. So the function of this video lecture is to continue our exploration and development of the quote-unquote visual glossary, which of course is our guide to specific techniques in cinematography, okay? In this video lecture, I'm going to present to you a technique that once was standard in the early history of cinema and now has become a stylized feat in which filmmakers can really sort of show off their mastery over craft, okay? And that, of course, is a technique known as the long take, okay? The long take is exactly what it sounds like. It's a shot or a take that is long, that is longer than a conventional shot or a conventional take, okay? Now, some films have been developed on the basis of attempting to use just one long take or a few long takes. I think this was first attempted in Alfred Hitchcock's film Rope. But of course, the contemporary example that I'm sure many of you are aware of is the film Birdman, right? These are both films that are very much invested in the potential of the long take, of what can be done in the long take, and also in the challenges built into the long take, right? Because the long take is a very dynamic shot that is changing and fluctuating, right? The lighting is changing. It's a moving shot. Frame sizes are changing. Actors are walking around, so there's changes in blocking, right? It's a very complicated cinematic technique, and it's really difficult to do it well, okay? So even though I mentioned the Hitchcock film Rope, I'm actually going to give a different example of the long take. Maybe we can go ahead and look at it right now. There are two examples that I want to give you guys of the long take, and I'm going to show these examples. Both of these examples are about, I don't know, 3 minutes long or something, okay? So the bulk of this video is actually going to be just watching these long takes. I'm not really going to talk in this video as much as I have in the other ones because I really kind of just want you to appreciate what is at stake in these incredible shots, okay? This first one that I'm showing you is from a Soviet film called Soy Cuba. I don't know if you guys have heard of this film. It's translated into English as I Am Cuba. And Soy Cuba is such a brilliant film, you guys. If we were meeting on site, this is another film that I would assign and show in class. I didn't assign it in the online version of this class because sometimes it's a little bit hard to get a hold of a streaming copy. And I think this is, for more than anything, I think this is because of political reasons. So it's a little bit of a difficult film to get a hold of, which is why I didn't assign it to you guys. But I really want to strongly recommend this movie, okay? Oh my God. Every filmmaker you love who's contemporary has cannibalized this film, you guys. They have used every part of this movie. There is so much brilliance in the adventures in cinematography in this movie. It is just incredible, okay? I mean, there's such lovely things that happen, like, tracking shots using boats. Remember the tracking shot is a moving shot where the camera moves, right? There's a really lovely tracking shot in which the camera sits on this little, like, canoe-like boat and just gently moves through the water. I mean, it's utterly gorgeous and brilliant, okay? So if you get the chance to see this film, see it. If it's being shown in a theater, like, I don't know, Film Forum or Lincoln Center or something, run. Do not walk. Run to see it. If you have to skip school, skip school. If you have to skip work, do it. Trust me. Incredible movie, okay? So this scene that we're going to watch right now consists of one long take, and so much happens in this one long take that I think it would probably be very easy to forget that it's a long take, okay? So we're going to watch this. I'm not really going to say say that much. I mean, I might praise it as we're watching it, but otherwise, I really just want you to take in this sort of technical achievement that is this incredible long take that involves a crane. It involves multi-stories in a building. It involves going into water. I mean, it's just incredible. Okay, so let's watch. Give me just 1 second. Okay, let's watch it. So I think already you've noticed that it's a really dynamic camera, right? Already we've changed camera angle. We've changed frame size. On top of that, there's sort of complex blocking happening with this musician jumping up and down. Of course, that is in time with the music. I mean, again, very complex. Let's keep going. Okay, then we have this very fluid transition to, I mean, I guess what is maybe a fashion show? I don't really know what's happening here. I mean, it really could be, whatever we imagine it to be, the worst of our imagination. But I think it's some kind of fashion show. And, there's this really kind of elegant move that all of these women do where they sort of twirl on this, like, let's call it a catwalk, right? And I want you to pay attention to how the camera also kind of has that elegant kind of, that elegance in turning as well. But we're still in the one shot. We're still in the long take. I love it. It's so elegant. Okay, this is great camera angle. It matches the angle of her hat. Okay, we're at this height, right? And this is a film that critiques the murderous excesses of capitalism in pre-communist Cuba, right? So look at how the shot is. It's almost kind of precarious. Whenever I watch this film in a theater, I kind of get car sick a little bit at this shot, or maybe like a sense of vertigo a little bit, because it's dangling high in the sky, just like the elite, the ruling class are high in the sky looking over all of us, right? Now it's moving down. Okay, suddenly we're at a totally different level, right? I love this crane shot. We're at a totally different level. Oh, and please remember, this is done before the advent of the Steadicam. I mean, this is just like an incredible shot, right? In terms of like the technological mastery, let's say. Look at how gorgeous that shot is of the sky, right? Incredible. So from that height, we ended up all the way down, 2 levels or a level and a half. Now we've ended up in the pool, but it doesn't end here. Look. Suddenly we're below water. And suddenly we're below water, right? What an incredible long take. I'm really sorry that I paused and spoke over it. My whole intention was actually to just let you guys watch it, but I have to say some stuff as we watch. But what an incredible long take. I mean, so much is happening in there. It's so easy to forget that it's just one long take. So really it was a kind of understated brilliance and understated mastery, because it's not even like the filmmaker is really drawing attention to himself. There's enough in the scene, I'll say narratively speaking, right? There's enough in the scene to actually really distract the viewer away from the fact that this is one incredible long take, okay? As I already mentioned, this is a film that's been copied and copied and copied and cannibalized and cannibalized and cannibalized. And I'm going to show you, and I think that you guys are probably going to laugh a little bit, but I'm going to show you a very famous copy of that same long take, okay? This is from the film Boogie Nights, a film made in maybe 1999. It's definitely the late 90s, a film made in the late 90s by a wonderful filmmaker, Paul Thomas Anderson. Now, I really, really like Paul Thomas Anderson, so I don't mean to say that, he's copying Soy Cuba. I mean, I'm sure that this is very much an homage shot. There are very direct references to the long take in Soy Cuba. But I just wanted to show you this so you can see, that's the thing with contemporary cinema, with modern filmmaking, is that, some of the filmmakers that we think are so talented and so brilliant, Tarantino is a great example. I hate Tarantino. I think he's so incredibly racist. And he's constantly praised for his cinematography. So much of that cinematography is really just a very clever sort of, interpretation, or a clever, version of pre-existing shots in the history of cinema. Okay, so let's watch this Boogie Nights long take, which is an homage to Soy Cuba.
He does not have the right to tell me how to dress. Where does he get off to tell me how to dress?
Huh? It's all. It's just plain old.
No, wait, let me tell you something, Becky. I don't... What's wrong with it,
The cowboy look ended about 6 years ago.
And we're traveling along in these different storylines at this party, right? Boogie Nights is a film about the transition period in pornographic cinema, from the transition between, porn in theaters to video porn. And so we float here. The camera floats in this long take in all of these different storylines. This is, a pornographic actor who, has this cowboy look, and everyone is always sort of criticizing him for the cowboy look, okay? Then, this is a nightclub owner who himself wants to be a star in a porn. So we're just floating in this world through this one long take.
Something I can send to my brothers and say, look at me. Look at me and all the beautiful women I've been with.
So, what, you want me to talk to Jack?
Yeah, what am I asking you here? Honey, Amber, baby, please, talk to Jack. Tell him I can do this. Tell him I won't be back.
So you want to be in a movie? I'll see what I can do.
What you love? Keep that in you. Thank you.
Now we keep floating, we keep moving.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Can I join in?
We float for a moment with this 14-year-old looking woman who's going to later on OD from that cocaine. Now we're floating to this woman who is going to start swimming. Okay, so maybe it's a little bit less ambitious than the Soy Cuba shot, but did you see? I mean, it's really a copy of it, okay? Or I'll be clear and say it's an homage to the Soy Cuba long take, okay? That will conclude our video example of the cinematic technique of the long take. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope that all of you guys are well, and I will, of course, speak to you again in another lecture. Take care, you guys. Bye.